Hi, my name is Nancy Eisman, and I'm an individual, marital, and family therapist at Healing Hearts of Indy Counseling in Indianapolis, Indiana. And today, the title of my video is Procrastination and Perfectionism. So today we're going to look at what procrastination and perfectionism have to do with each other. Do you have tendencies to procrastinate like I do? Do you wish you could stop and just find the motivation to get the job done already? Maybe you're a perfectionist and you spend a lot of time making sure everything is just so. Well, today I want to talk about the reasons why we procrastinators are so darn good at delaying the inevitable and what drives perfectionism too. So first we'll talk about the reason behind procrastination. When we drill down into the root cause of procrastination, we find a heart that has some sort of shame. I mean, I'm sorry to be so blunt about that, but we're here to be real. It may not look like it on the surface, but if we really look down deep, we'll find it. That surface answer to why am I procrastinating of because I just don't want to is not the real reason. The driving force behind not wanting to begin a project is a fear of not being able to carry it out well enough. The lack of motivation is from a fear base driven by shame, which also leads to and is tied into perfectionism. People who are perfectionists are generally world champion procrastinators. Have you ever thought of the connection between the two before? Well, let's look at that just a little bit deeper. In our heads, if we know how to listen for it, that deep shame sounds something like this. If I don't write this paper or finish this project perfectly, I will be deemed not good enough and I will die alone and unloved. So that sounds like a pretty extreme view, right? And it is. That doesn't mean that that's not what's truly going on deep in your heart. Our lizard brain is exceedingly extreme in its beliefs like this. Black or white, off or on, yes or no, no gray areas in between. If you want to read more about the concept of lizard brain, I've actually written a blog about that as well, and I'll put a link down below. So this extreme notion that our lizard brain has is a core belief of perfectionists, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, and it's at the root of shame and abandonment. So we're driven to be good enough and to be acceptable when we're kiddos, so that we'll be accepted by our tribe, our family of origin. And so we value what they value, and we do what is expected of us so we won't be abandoned. Whatever standards our family had, we are driven to meet them so we won't be left alone and unloved. If we had a critical, harsh, or somehow demanding parents or families, we learned that we had better not make mistakes in order to be loved. Enter budding perfectionism. When we fear that we may not be able to complete a project well enough, or if we subconsciously want to rebel against this harsh judgment, we procrastinate. It's all intertwined. So if we talk about, I'm a parent. I have two kiddos, and I wanted to know as I was working through this, how do I walk this line as a parent, as a mom? So I often get the question, too, from parents that I walk with, how do I walk this line between wanting my kids to excel and do well and be the best they can be, and not being too overly harsh or critical and expecting too much? It's pretty darn difficult, right? By realizing how kids hear these kinds of statements in their heads and process them and internalize them into their hearts, we can minimize the potential damage of high expectations while still encouraging the best they can do simultaneously. When encouraging kids to do the best they can Make sure that they know, through words and actions, that they will be loved and accepted, even if they can't do something perfectly. Let them know that doing their very best is great, but their lovability and acceptability does not depend on that outcome. If that's left unchecked, encouragement to be their best can be interpreted and internalized by them as, if I fail, I won't be lovable. That kind of internalization of shame is the birthing ground for perfectionism and ultimately procrastination as well. We can help our kiddos process that message differently if we're aware of the danger of it. An awareness of the depth of people and their feelings, how we internalize messages as children, and a vigilance in heading off misperceptions like these at the pass are all important ways that parents can help avoid the development of deep shame, perfectionism, and procrastination. If the deed is already done and you already have the shame to drive these things, the cure includes finding your own lovability and acceptability, a large helping of grace and compassion for yourself, and a good dose of differentiation. No clue how to do that? You're not alone. Come on into my office or set up an online appointment and let's chat. I've walked a good chunk of this path, or more like army crawled it through the mud, and I know the way out. I still walk and crawl through parts of it still, but I'm much better at it than I used to be. It's ultimately the way to peace. I have a mug in my office and it says peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. This kind of peace is exactly what I'm selling. I have found it, and I want you to have it too. I know the way. Let's make the journey together. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it on social media or email the link to someone that you think might enjoy it as well. Please like our channel, Healing Hearts of Indy, on YouTube. And if you'd like to make an appointment, you may email me at Nancy, Nancy, at healingheartsofindy.com. Thanks for supporting my work.